Have you ever felt powerless? Like your voice doesn't matter in a world full of noise and force? Today we're traveling back in time to the heart of ancient Rome to uncover a secret that is more relevant now than ever before. It's the story of a man who faced down armies not with a sword but with something far more powerful, his words. This is the story of Marcus Tullius Cicero and his timeless lesson that true strength isn't measured in steel but in speech. A sword can win a battle, but only words can win hearts. This isn't just a catchy phrase, it was the reality of Cicero's life. In an era defined by legions, conquests, and gladiators, one man stood apart. He wasn't a general decked out in armor or an emperor on a golden throne. He was a lawyer, a philosopher, and an orator. His battlefield was the Roman Forum, and his legions were his ideas, his logic, and his passion. Think about the Rome of Cicero's time. It was a place of immense power, but also of great turmoil. Political rivalries were deadly, conspiracies brewed in the shadows, and the very foundations of the Republic were beginning to crack under the weight of ambitious men like Julius Caesar, Pompey, and Mark Antony. In this high-stakes game of power, a single misstep, a single poorly chosen word could cost you everything. And yet it was here that Cicero chose to make his stand. He became known as the voice of Rome. When corrupt governors exploited the provinces, it was Cicero's voice that brought them to justice. When conspirators plotted to overthrow the government, it was Cicero's speeches, his famous Catilinarian orations that exposed their treachery and rallied the Senate to defend the Republic. He didn't need a sword to corner his enemies. His arguments were sharper, his evidence more piercing. He could dissect a lie, expose a hidden motive, and paint a picture of truth so vivid that no one could ignore it. He proved that a well-reasoned argument could be more devastating than a physical blow. One of his most defining moments came when he faced the rising tide of tyranny. As powerful men sought to dismantle the Republic for their own gain, Cicero became its most vocal defender. He knew the risks. He saw friends and allies fall, silenced by exile or assassination. He could have chosen the easy path, the safe path of silence. He could have allied himself with the powerful, trading his principles for his personal safety, but he didn't. Instead, he fought back with the only weapon he truly trusted: the truth. He wrote essays, delivered fiery speeches, and reminded the people of Rome what they were fighting for, not just land or wealth, but the ideals of freedom, justice, and law. He believed that an informed citizenry was the ultimate defense against tyranny. His words were a shield for the Republic and a spear aimed at the heart of corruption. He understood something fundamental about power. You can force people to obey with a sword, but you can only inspire them to believe with words. This is the core of Cicero's secret, the power of persuasion. Persuasion isn't about manipulation or trickery. It's about building a bridge of understanding between your mind and someone else's. It's about presenting your ideas with such clarity, logic, and emotion that you don't just change minds, you move hearts. Cicero's speeches weren't just dry legal arguments. They were masterpieces of rhetoric. He could make his audience feel the plight of the oppressed, share in his outrage at injustice, and swell with pride for their Roman heritage. He inspired action, changed laws, and for a time united a fractured Rome against those who sought to tear it apart. He showed that if you can win the hearts and minds of the people, you hold a power that no army can truly conquer. But this path was not without its dangers. There came a time when silence was the safest option, when speaking out was a death sentence. After the assassination of Julius Caesar, Rome plunged into another brutal civil war. The new power players, like Mark Antony, had no patience for dissenting voices. Cicero saw Antony as another would-be tyrant, a grave threat to the republic he had spent his life defending. And so he did what he had always done. He spoke. He delivered a series of blistering speeches against Antony known as the Philippics. He knew the immense danger he was putting himself in. His friends begged him to flee to save himself, but Cicero believed that a life lived in silent fear was not a life worth living. He refused to let the voice of freedom be extinguished. He chose his principles over his survival. Ultimately, his courage cost him his life. He was declared an enemy of the state, and assassins were sent after him. But even in his final moments, Cicero's legacy was secure. As the story goes, he met his fate with dignity, offering his neck and reportedly saying, "There is nothing proper about what you are doing, soldier, but do try to kill me properly." His enemies thought that by silencing him, they could erase his influence. They were wrong. A sword can silence a man, but never an idea. They could kill Cicero, but they couldn't kill what he stood for. His writings survived, studied by generations of thinkers, leaders, and revolutionaries. His defense of the Republic became a rallying cry for future generations fighting for freedom. His belief in the power of reason and eloquent truth inspired the Renaissance, the Enlightenment, and even the founding fathers of the United States. His ideas became immortal. So, what is Cicero's timeless lesson for us today? In a world of digital shouting matches, misinformation, and division, his message is a guiding light. Real strength isn't about who shouts the loudest or who has the most followers. It's not found in brute force or intimidation. True strength lies in the mind and in the voice. It's the courage to seek the truth, the skill to articulate it clearly, and the integrity to stand by it, even when it's difficult. Your voice has power. Every time you choose to engage in thoughtful debate instead of resorting to insults, you are channeling the spirit of Cicero. Every time you speak up for what is right, even when your voice shakes, you are proving that words are stronger than swords. Don't ever believe that you are powerless. The world can be changed by an idea. An idea given voice can topple empires and build new worlds. So, remember the secret of Cicero. Cultivate your mind, hone your voice, and speak your truth. You might just shake the world. Thank you for joining us on this journey into ancient wisdom. If this story inspired you, please hit that like button. And for more motivation from the ancient world, make sure to subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss an episode. Until next time, stay wise and speak truth.